Croeso I bysgota Cymru. Welcome to Fishing in Wales. Well, croeso I llennoedd Teifi, or a warm welcome to Teifi Pools. Fantastic fishery in the heart of mid-Wales. Just over my shoulder, we've got Llyn Egnant. We've also got Llyn Hir, which is the long lake, or Llyn Teifi, Teifi Lake. This is where the famous Welsh River Teifi starts. But I'm not going to talk too much to you because fish are rising and I want to go fishing. Right, just got down to the water. The one thing about fishing here, don't be too preoccupied casting too far. Fish the margins, keep working and walking around. However, two fish just rose out there. And if you see a fish rise, you've got to cover it. It's the odd flies coming off there, a bit of movement. So if you see something, put the fly in that vicinity and you might have a chance of a wonderful wild brown trout. I was hoping to show you a fish, but the fish is a bit camera shy. Really heavy take, line went solid, then it went slack. Typical fishing. Now, this is Llyn Egnant, and everybody asks me, where's the best spot? Well, unfortunately, these are wild fish, so you have to go and find them. For me personally, this bank, which is the first bank when you drive down to it, it's quite good. There's a long peat shallow out here, drops down deep. Then halfway up the lake, there's a gorsey area, which again has a great drop off about 10-15 yards out, and the fish tend to cruise up and down that. And then the big bay on the opposite bank, basically you've got to walk around it and find the fish. You can't stand in one spot and wait for the fish to come to you. You've got to go to them. Right, sun's gone in, beautiful cloud cover, nice breeze, perfect for wild brown trout. And so far I've had one take, so I wish somebody would tell the trout that it's perfect for wild brown trout. Conditions are great, flies are on the water, some buzzers are coming off, so all we need now is just one fish to take a fly. Yes, here we go. Oh, nice fish. Worked this bank all the way down, had 3 takes, and finally a bar of gold. Teifi Pools wild brown trout. Look at this. Now that, forget all your stockies, a fish like that is a bar of gold. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh. Bloody hell, where's that come from? Well, first time ever in Teifi Pools, I actually just seen an osprey. He flew in, I thought typical. In this area, there are thousands and thousands of red kites. I thought it was a red kite, but then realised it was an osprey. He flew in, he circled half the lake, and now, yes, he's coming back. He paused 1 second. I thought he was going to take a dive into the lake, but still circling, trying to find his lunch. Okay, you're there, are you? There we go, on the hang. I felt a little tap then. I thought, I'll give you another chance. Not as big as the other one, but I tell you what, great sport. Come here, you. Last minute. Look at that. Unlike the other one, this one's got a few red spots, but beautiful, chunky fish. And what's really, really nice, really fat, which means been feeding well. Especially early part of the season, you tend to see the mountain lakes, the trout are a little bit thin, but that one quite deep, so he's feeding well, which bodes well for his future. Well, really, I should have told you right at the beginning what tackle you should be using, but as you saw, there was a lot of fish rising, and as fishermen who see fish rise, we're going to go after them. Me personally, middle of summer, if you're only going to fish dry fly, I'd be using a 9-foot 5 weight. Today, it's earlier in the season, so I'm using a 9-foot 6 weight, keeping it light. That allows me to fish small flies, use light tippet. I'm on 5-pound breaking strain. Floating line, to be honest with you, you don't need a sinking line on these lakes. If you want to get them down a little bit, then you could use a poly leader, like an intermediate poly leader on the end of your floating line. Me, what I do is I'll just put a heavier fly on the point. The most important thing is mobile. Look at me, I'm carrying everything with me. Waders are on, all my tools are here. Everything I want is in my bum bag there. So I'm not going to leave my bag and walk down and then have to go back to get it. And as I said, you've got to be mobile. You've got to find where the fish are. So it means cast and walk, cast and walk. So keep it light, keep it simple, and just keep moving. So we've caught 2 fish from Egnant. So I just thought, for a bit of fun, why not set myself a challenge and do the Teifi Pools Slam? That means fish from here, fish from Llyn here, and fish from Llyn Teifi. Who knows? Well, we've done this one. On to the next one. The great thing about the Teifi Pools, unlike sort of any other mountain lakes, you don't need a backpack, you don't have to be like a mountain goat. There's a road down to each one of them. And the one thing with the mountain lakes, you've got to be careful. Have a look at the weather, keep an eye on it. And in some of these really, really high mountain lakes, the problem is if the mist comes in, you can get into trouble. The brilliant thing, as I said, there's a road down the side of each one. Llyn Egnant is all the way down to the dam. Llyn Hir is down to the top. And again, Llyn Teifi is all the way down to the dam. So if the mist does come in, you can get back to your car, you're safe, and you can get home. So there's not a problem, and it's easy access, so there's no hiking, no nothing. Well, look, here's the road, 5 yards over my shoulder. That's the side of the lake, so easy, and anybody can fish them. And I'm going to give you a bit of history about these lakes. These years and years and years, and I'm talking years ago, they were run by Lord Lisbon. And the keeper, who was Frank Owen, and his wife, Uni, they were like second parents to me because, well, before I was on this planet, Frank used to live in the summer on the banks of Llyn Hir, and in the winter then he used to live in the keeper's house down on Tregaron Bog. So in the summer he used to look after Lord Lisbon's lakes up here, and in the winter he used to breed all his pheasants for shooting. And when he retired, they actually moved to Pontymendighaid and to the bottom of the garden of our house. So I used to spend a lot of time with him. He gave me my first shotgun, he gave me a lot of flies and told me a lot of secrets about how to fish Teifi pools. Then Welsh Water took over Llyn Egnant, Llyn Hir, Llyn Teifi, and the small lake which is just over from Teifi, which is called Pond y Gwaith. It's like workman's pool, or works pool, literal translation. So they ran it for years. They used to stock it. They used to stock brownies in here. They used to stock rainbows and browns in Teifi. They used to stock Llyn Hir. They even put American brook trout in Llyn Hir on a couple of occasions. They were lunatic fish. If you were there within the first 2 days of them being put in, it was fish a cast, and then they would disappear. So that didn't last long. But then what Welsh Water found out, that the acidic water couldn't accept stockfish anymore. So they basically closed them. So all these lakes were closed for 10, maybe 12 years, nobody fishing them. They did a little effort on Llyn Egnant where they put oyster shells in the feeder streams, but the 8-10 years of non-fishing pressure, no stockfish, allowed the wild fish to get back. And now it's purely wild. It's run by Tregaron Angling Association, and basically it's heaven on earth, wild fish, and if you do, you are allowed to take them home if you want. But please think about the future of the next angler coming along. Put them back, because to me, every fish I put back in the water is my gift to the next angler. So put them back, let them grow bigger and bigger, and it seems to be working. Right, on to the next one. That fish is feeding in that bay again. Just flashed behind. Well, I've had a dozen casts. Now, before the camera was here, first cast on here, I had one swirl at a fly, and then it took another one, and then finally we got a brownie from Llyn Teifi. Not as big as Egnant, probably as big as the second one we had on Llyn Egnant, but look at that. Beautiful, wild, fin perfect. Look at that, stunning fish. My God. Wild mountain lake from Mid Wales, you just cannot get any better than that. All right, let's get him back. Well, that's 2/3 of the slam done. Couple from Egnant, one from Teifi. I've bumped one and actually got broken in one as well. So, yeah, not too bad. The problem is now, we're the hardest one of all. Llyn Hir. Let's go. Right, made it back from Teifi, up the hills. Now, if you want to be sensible about it, well, obviously, fish Egnant, drive to Teifi, then drive back to Llyn Hir. Or, if you want a bit of exercise, climb the mountains as we've done. This is going to be my first cast in this area. I have fished Teifi pools over half a century, 50 years. And I've never fished in this end. But I've been given some advice by an angler who has fished this before and said, get up the top end. So let's see how we get on. We only need one fish. And the fish just rose over my shoulder. Come on, be nice. Not so nice. Those geese can shut up. Gee whiz, noisy so-and-so. That's it, go away. Thank you very much. Right. A little bit difference between Llyn Hir, Teifi and Egnant is that Llyn Hir, the water clarity is much better. So sometimes you got to be a little bit cleverer, space your flies out, and it's more creepy. Whereas with the peaty water in Egnant and Teifi, you can get away with it. So a little bit more stealth. So this is the hardest lake. So if you complete the 2 legs, I'd advise this is going to be the one you leave to last, and it's going to be your hardest challenge, to be honest with you. As you can see, no takes. The brilliant thing about this fishing, it's affordable. It's actually £13 a day for all these lakes. If you want a season ticket, it's actually £75 for these and Llyn Berwyn, which is above Tregaron. If you want more information about all this fishing, visit Tregaron Angling Association website, or if you want a day ticket, Fishing Passport online. And also some local shops. You can buy a sandwich on the way up, get your day ticket, and come and enjoy a wonderful day in Teifi Pools. Well, this fish gave me a second chance. It's a nice brownie. Come here. I've got some nasty rocks in front of me. This one's been hooked before because he's trying to get in the rocks. Come on, come on, out you come. There we go. Oh, look at this. Could be the best fish of the day. Maybe not. I'm not sure. There we go. Let's get into here. Oh, what a stunner. Look at this. Come here, you. Now that, I think, is probably the best capture of all the fish. Beautiful red dots, yellow belly, and that's the slam done. Yes! 2 in Egnant, 1 in Llyn Teifi, and 1 in Llyn Hir. And to be honest with you, if you come to Teifi Pools and you want to set yourself a challenge, well, yes, go for the slam. But if you want a great day's fishing, you can just drive along, park your car, get out and fish one of the lakes. Come and join us in mid-Wales. Fantastic fishing for wild brown trout, just like this one. Discover fishing in Wales.